Hi, my name's Annette and welcome to my podcast. Welcome back, Reborn lovers. We're up to Born to Reborn number 15, and today I wanted to introduce you to my beautiful baby, Serenity. Now, Serenity, you may think, is a baby that is maybe a werewolf, but she's not. She's actually a baby which has a congenital disease, which is called congenital hypotrichosis, or also werewolf syndrome. So babies can be actually born with a ridiculous amount of hair on their face. We've got a little bit on the limbs there and stuff, but that's what I say she is. She could be a werewolf baby. I guess you could make her into a little werewolf baby, but she's the most glorious, gorgeous baby that I've ever received. I bought this one from Kerry Bowden, a good friend of mine, and I don't think she still makes them, but only on, special order. But I know she has made someone else one, I believe. So anyway, she's just gorgeous, and I wanted to show her off today. She's not the last of my babies, but we are getting through them. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk to you all about getting a free baby. It's a bit stinky. I wanted to just bring some light on the fact, because in the last few weeks I have seen a few well-known artists saying that they're being asked for a free baby. And this has been going on, oh my God, it seems like forever. I've been asked for several free babies, and I wanted to say to you, if you are a lover of reborns and you don't have a reborn baby and you really like one and you think, oh, well, I'm going to go and ask someone if they can give me a free baby, I'm going to explain to you why you can't. You really can't get a free reborn baby unless it's very, very, very specific circumstances. So, as you can imagine, these babies, you could go to Kmart, right? And you could buy just a normal, newborn baby doll, and they're still $45, $50. You wouldn't go to Kmart and ask for a free baby, would you? You know the answer is going to be no. So, I wonder why you would ask someone if you can have a free baby when if you know reborns, you should know it's a piece of art. And art doesn't necessarily come for free. So I'm going to shed a little light, just a small light, on the costs involved in making a reborn baby. So first we get these beautiful kits, right? Like my podcast baby. It'll come with the head and the limbs. That'll be all generally that'll come with it. Sometimes you get a body with it and sometimes you get a COA with it. But let's just say you just bought this here. Now that kit alone, just the kit, unpainted, so it'll be like this color, will cost anywhere between $70 and $250. Yeah. It can go that high, especially if it's a rare kit, and some kits even go higher. If you look at my website, I've got some kits on there that are $600, and that's because they're very old, discontinued kits that are impossible to get these days. So there's your first cost. Next cost will be the body, if you need it, and the stuffing to go in the baby. So we've got the baby will be filled with polyfill, and also like a glass bead weight, okay? They obviously cost money as well. So just by pure calculations, let's say that artist had to get the body and the weight and everything to go in there. That is roughly, just at a guesstimate, could be anywhere between $60 to $80. Now, I do sell these things, but why I say guesstimate is because this body that this baby gets may be a bit dearer than the last body. Some bodies are around $24 to $30. But if you have to specifically make a custom body, that could cost you up to $50. And that is coming out of the pocket of that artist. And I did want to go back to talking about the kits. Do you know when you book in a custom baby with someone, that artist has to fork out straight away the price of that kit. So if you've got a lay-by and you think, oh, I'll just give them 50 this week and 50 in a month, that's all right. That artist would have worked things out with you and they would say that they're happy. But just consider the fact that they might have to make an outright payment straight up to get your kit of up to maybe $250. That's out of their pocket. Yes, you're going to give it back, but in dribs and drabs, it sometimes can be a little bit, oh my God, how am I going to get that kit? Okay, so then we've got the weight and everything to go with that baby. Now, obviously, there's paint. We're going to put paint on this baby, or any baby. You can see that there's paint on this baby and a little bit of hair there. So we've got the paint. You've got the tools that you're going to use with the paint. So the brushes, the sponges. And if you're making heat set paints, you've also got that odorless solvent. Now, most of the time we reuse our sponges and our brushes. But there is times when we have to freshen up our stock and get, fresh stock. The paints surprisingly go quite the distance, which is really great. So with paints, brushes, sponges, and odorless solvent for one baby, you may only be looking at something as little as $20. It's not a big deal. Okay, that is not a big deal. But it is something that we need to factor in, especially if we need to get brushes. If you needed to get brushes, if you're an artist that wants new brushes on every baby, then they're looking at up to $20 up to $50. Okay, there's a new price there. Hair. Well, let's talk about hair. When we put in hair, some people use very cheap hair, and that's fine. That's what they choose. But other people use really, really expensive hair. With your hair, your needles, your tools, you could be looking at minimum $30 for a baby. That's not too bad, but up to maybe $120 for the hair. And that's no lie. That's, for schmick quality hair. And they might have to buy 2 packs in some instances. So that's all depending on the kit. If it's a toddler, it might be up to $150 in hair, maybe more, depending on how much they need. Think about that. The eyes, the eyelashes, depending, again, on what quality eyes they're using, whether they're using acrylic. Now, acrylic can be quality eyes. I sell some beautiful acrylic eyes, but they can be as little as, prices have just gone up recently. So the eyes and the eyelashes, you might use the hair to implant eyelashes, or you might buy eyelashes. But let's say anywhere between, you've got to put glue in behind them and things like that. Anywhere between $15 to $50 for a pair of eyes. If they're glass eyes and they're beautiful German quality eyes, you're going to pay it. The artist is going to pay it. Now, if you're heat setting the baby, like I told you before, there'll be electricity involved. And also, when we're implanting the hair, quite often, probably 80% of us use a heat lamp inside the head to make it just that little bit softer to implant the hair. Now, look, my beautiful friend Kerry has spent hours and hours on this. So there's been a lamp on while she's doing that. So let's say electricity to work on a baby. This is just an absolute guesstimate, but maybe anywhere between $30 to $50, possibly. Ovens take a lot of power. They use a lot of power. So, depending on how many times it's baked and how long we've got that lamp inside the head, that's something. Clothes and accessories to send with your baby. Again, it depends on the artist, but you're looking at minimum $20, anywhere up to $50, right? Some artists, they go all out and they buy designer outfits, and, you know, because they've got a reputation that they would like to uphold. Generally, artists won't send secondhand clothes unless they know that they're totally brand new, no marks on them. Then they may do, but they might just send that as an extra outfit or something. But it's their prerogative anyway. That outfit probably would have cost $20 anyway. Who knows? There's blankets, there's hospital IDs, shoes and socks, headbands, jackets, toys, dummies, all add up. So, you know, if you're talking a dummy, at least is around $10. So $20 is probably being very, very generous. Then we go into the making of the baby. Now, most artists will really take their time, and they also have limited time. But generally, if I just wanted to paint a baby, and I wasn't doing any hair on that baby, I can do a baby painting from start to finish in around 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours. That's really focusing on that baby. And yeah. So if I was working at Woolies, I don't know what their actual current wage is, but let's say I was earning $25 an hour then, that's $250. I mean, that's being generous, right? Some of these high-end artists, they're incredible. You would be paying more than $25 an hour for them. And then the hair, let's not talk about the hair. If you're painting hair, implanting hair, but let's say the baby can take anywhere between, like you might get it bald after that, you might, but let's say it's going to take anywhere between 10 to 40 hours to make that baby. Now, you know, most people that work a 40-hour week might be taking home like something like $1,500 a week. I've heard of some people actually say people aren't charging enough for the baby because of the products and the time that goes into it. Reborn artists don't earn what they should earn. And they can't, okay? They can't. I mean, some high-end artists may be able to charge, you know, $8,000 for this baby. But it's pretty rare. It is pretty rare. Most reborn artists do it for the love of the reborning. And they don't factor in their own time. They really don't. And that's just, over time, it's just become the way things are, you know. Now, generally, your babies, if you are wanting to buy one, will cost anywhere from, say, $350 up to $1,500. That's like the general rule of thumb, unless you've got a really high-end artist, of course. So when you're getting a baby from someone and it's costing $350, in most cases, they're doing it because they love the hobby. They really enjoy it. They love the giving aspect of it. And they sort of want to keep prices as cheap as possible. Don't also forget, they're going to pay for postage, which can cost anywhere between, postage is just about to go up, anywhere between like $30 to $60, depending where it is going as well. So there is so many factors and different artists. Like I said before, when someone might get some acrylic eyes, they might only be paying, you know, $12 for a pair of acrylic eyes or something. They're quality acrylic eyes in most cases. Some people might, I don't know where they would get. Most artists wouldn't use ugly eyes in a baby because the eyes are the key to the soul, right? They make it beautiful. But where an, you know, standard everyday artist who's just doing a little bit of a hobby might buy $12 a pair of eyes, a high-end artist will be going to the other end of the scale, buying a $50 pair of glass German eyes. Absolutely pristine. The weight that they put in the baby, instead of just using the tumbled glass, which is a refined glass bead, they might use premium, which is a crisp white. It's beautiful. It's more expensive. You know, it depends on what your artist puts into making that baby for you. So Do you think you want to go and ask an artist for a free baby now? And we're going to talk about it, but I'm just going to say, let's not even talk about silicone babies. So many silicone artists get told or asked, can I please have a free baby? Oh, they must go, they must nearly choke themselves at that time. Do you know a silicone full body silicone baby that everyone wants so they can put in the bath and pretend it's a beautiful baby can be a minimum of $2,500? Silicone artists won't work with fakes. Real reborn artists won't work with fakes either. It's offensive to the sculptors. Okay, it's really offensive. So $2,500 for a full body silicone. I'm probably being really kind. Some are worth a lot more. And then if you're going to get them painted and all worked out, you're looking at like $4,500 to $5,000 for that baby. So please don't ask for a free baby off those people. It's so offensive. It really is offensive. You know, it's even offensive to us if you're going to go on local like Temu or something and buy a reborn baby or a silicone baby. They are fake babies. They are counterfeit fraud babies that are stolen from real hardworking artists. So I hope hearing this podcast has made you rethink about if you're going to ask for a free baby. Now, I did say earlier on that there is circumstances where people will give free babies. That's normally out of the beautiful kindness of their heart. Okay? They may have seen someone struggling. They may want to donate babies to the dementia ward in a nursing home. Or they may have heard a story about you and they just want to give to you. Please don't ask for a free baby if your boyfriend has just left you. Or if you don't earn enough money. I know it's sad. You kind of deserve a baby too. But think about all of that time and money that goes into making that baby and realize that that artist has to make a living too. And if they decide that someone comes to you and they decide to give you a free baby, kudos to you. Good on you. Like I said, I do know some beautiful reborn artists who every baby they sell, they give away one. But they give away one to someone who's really in need. You might think you're really in need, and that's okay. Maybe you could reach out and tell your story maybe on a platform like TikTok. Maybe someone might see your story, but don't lie. Liars always get caught out, and it's shameful and hurtful to those people who are really suffering, who could do with a free reborn. So I hope that has shed some light on the cost of reborns today. I'm probably being I know the costs because I run Aussie Reborn Supplies. I sell the supplies. But in some cases, I'm probably being a little bit kind. It's a little bit more than what I say. But they're general prices. So be excited. Start saving your money. You could collect cans. You could put $5 away a week, and before you know it, you'll have a reborn baby. I promise you. You've just got to put in the hard work that we all do. I've got a lay-by at the moment for a little reborn baby. I don't have lots of money to throw around all the time, but I've got a lay-by and I pay for it every fortnight. There's so many people who are happy to do that, and you can ask around, but don't ask for a free baby. All right then, guys, I'm not going to show you my podcast baby this week because I didn't do any more work on it and I've been really busy. Well, I've had like 3 birthdays in the last couple of days and I've just been overwhelmed with being busy. Thanks for listening to me today. If you want to have any of your own input, put it in the comments below about what you think about people asking about a free baby or how much it costs you to make a baby. Thank you for watching me today. Love that I saw you again and hope you come and watch us again next week. Happy reborning. Say bye, Serenity. Bye. Oh, she looks a little sad. Don't be sad that they're going. They got to see you. Bye, guys.